Sasha.
Welcome back to France. The next few videos are from a course I enrolled on with Adventure Flying, run by the world famous, or infamous, Gerolf Heinrichs. I've got video of flying around the courses he set, I've got tips and techniques, including one video dedicated just to thermaling, and I've got interviews with pilots on the course, culminating in an interview with Gerolf Heinrichs himself. So, let's go flying.
Okay, so we got into the air. Always the usual wind up when you first take off because it feels low, even though we're 2,500 feet up. This is another experiment with the sound, trying to get the sound right. Yesterday my voice was too loud, which introduced clipping. So today I'm going to talk a little bit quieter and hopefully get good sound quality. So all good so far. Inner thermal going up better in front of me, so I'm heading out that way. Not sure who that is. I thought it was Sasha, but I don't think it is actually. Oh yeah, it's much nicer over there. So now I'm up at cloud base and I'm waiting for the actual start. So our task starts at 1:30. It's now 11 minutes past, so I've got 20 minutes to wait until the start. And the idea is that I stay as high as I can and be as high as I can at the start. I'm a little bit outside of the start cylinder at the moment. I just went quiet there because there's somebody locking on the radio. I think it was Julian. Just like really loud noise in your ear. Anyway, 20 minutes to wait until the start. I need to be as high as you can for that start to get the best possible start so you can then glide. So I'm going to do my best to stay high for the next 20 minutes. I'm also outside the start cylinder, so I'm going to have to fly back into it at some point. I can see, actually near the start, or near the takeoff should I say, there are a lot of gliders going round, so I know I can catch a bit of a thermal there if I need to. But at the moment I'm just sort of a little bit up, a little bit down where I am, which suits me as a kind of a holding position at the moment. So I'm just going to hold on here. Unless I start losing loads of height, and I'll look for a different thermal, but at the moment I'm just doing okay, maintaining just under 7,000 feet. So we've taken the first turn point and we're heading towards the second. We're at a decision point now because we can carry on north to Beaumont and then cross the valley from Beaumont. But it gives us a longer crossing of the valley if we do that. And the other issue is there's not really anywhere to top up along the way. So the question is, do we fly from here straight across the valley or Beaumont? So I'm just thinking about it whilst getting high. Currently at 7,500 feet, nearly at cloud base. I can also see that if I go this way, I have the added bonus of when I get to the other side, I know where there's a thermal trigger, which is the really rough thermal I had yesterday. So I'm currently thinking probably crossover from here. Tim, I'm switching to right-hand thermals as per everybody else. Okay, so got really quite low there between here and the volcano. Climbed out on some little rocky bits in the middle, and now I've come back to the spot where yesterday it was really rough. So just there is where I climbed out, just high enough to get me here, and now just in front of where it was really rough yesterday I found something that's worth getting. Nicely, it's nowhere near as rough as it was yesterday. It's really nice. So it's nowhere near as rough as yesterday, just going up nicely. I was with Sasha and Tim. Tim disappeared off to Shark's Fin. Oh, woo! I don't know what happened to Tim when he got to the Shark's Fin. He may well be climbing, he'd gone down, I don't know. Sasha was with me, she stayed with me. When I set off on this glide here, she was a little bit further away than me, but higher than me. So I'm not really sure where she's now. I expect her to join me soon. So I'm going to do an experiment now. I'm going to go over the top and fly along to the turn point and see if I can make it over there and back. Unless I get a good core on the way, in which case I will use that core. So we'll see what happens. With thermals coming up the ridge, just soar along it. I've just spotted something climbing ahead of me. I don't know if it's a bird or a glider, but it's climbing. Hope it's a bird because it's a little dot. So I got the waypoint, and on the way to the waypoint I found a really nice thermal, which I didn't stop in, but I marked its location, and now when I'm on my way back from the waypoint I'm using that thermal to get high. So a bit of tactical manoeuvre in there. It was quite a good lift a lot of the way along that bit of a ridge, and then just found the good thermal, flew through it, and then came back to use it, and I'm using it now, going up at about 600-700 feet a minute. It says nonchalantly, even though it's absolutely amazing going up this fast. Oh, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. So after being really low down, I am now getting high again. I am at 6,500 feet. And can you hear that vario springing at me? It's going brrr, brrr. It's like a blinking phone. It's going tring tring. It's saying to me, you're going up really fast. So me and Sasha have decided, for safety reasons, we're going to abandon the task. There's a massive cloud building to the west, and there's another big one on track. We're worried about them developing into Q-names. There's another one directly ahead actually. They are huge. Don't want to get caught in that kind of weather. A bit dangerous. So instead we are flying back towards the landing field. Flying now through an area that is actually sorry, we're flying now through an area that is actually renowned for having a lot of sink in it, because of the way the winds come this way through the valley. So I don't know whether we'll make it or not. I think we will. Got a nice line back. Sasha's gone way off to the left compared to me. I've got more of a straight line towards the campsite. I'll ask her about that on the radio while she's doing that. I'm flying over the bits where I think there might be some lift on these little bobbles here. So we'll see. And also, directly ahead of me is where I got a thermal on the way in yesterday. So you never know, that might work for me again. Let's wait and see. So conditions not quite as nice as yesterday. However, it is a beautiful, beautiful area. Just so beautiful. We're heading back to the Chabre. Oh, Sasha's gone on without me. I'll just get in a straight line and go catch her up. Pulling on VG. When you pull on VG on the hang glider, VG is short for variable geometry, so it alters the geometry of the hang glider. And what you do is you pull this bit of string here, and what that does is, through a system of pulleys, it pulls the cross tube in the middle further back, which in turn forces the wings further out, and it has the effect of flattening the wing, and it gives it a better glide angle, so you fly better in a straight line. However, it makes it more difficult to turn, and it also increases the diameter of any given circle that you're going to turn. So what you generally do is, when you want to fly for good performance in a straight line, is you pull the VG on. If it's really, really rough air, you might let some VG off because it's more difficult to handle in rough air, and it can be in really rough air like yesterday. That's when you can have a little bit dangerous sometimes, perhaps have a turn that you don't want, or even I've heard that you can have tumbles in that way. So what I tend to do is, if I'm flying in really rough air, is I'll let some VG off, maybe have it to half, depending on how I feel and how the air feels around me. It's all about speed, safety and handling. The other thing about when you pull the VG on is you'll notice the bar position, or certainly on a Wills wing hang glider, comes further back, and you naturally fly faster. So you fly faster and you'll fly with better performance than you would otherwise. So pulling the bar on VG is really good for that. Now, while we've been talking, Sasha has somehow got a lot lower than me. I think she must be pulling the bar in. Having said that, I seem to be gaining on her. So she's obviously setting up for the landing, and I'm going to try now and get down as fast as I can back to her, because as she pointed out, it is getting a bit easy to stay up, and we don't want to get caught in dangerous weather conditions. Following Sasha down. Sasha's one of the guides on the course that I'm on, so I'm here on a course run by world famous pilot Gerolf Heinrichs, and that's he set the course, the task that we've run today, which is really great fun. And the whole idea is that we analyse our flying and look to see where we can make improvements. So I'm really looking forward to analysing this flight and talking about my mistakes, talking about where I can improve, and hopefully doing better for the next flights. Sasha looks like she's heading to the campsite, although we're supposed to be going to the north landing field. I just follow her down. Nice and chilled. She's going round in circles now. I don't know if she's going round in circles up or down. The north landing field is over there at the bottom of the Chabre. That's also the bomb out field. And then the other landing field is where I landed yesterday, the campsite over there. The advantage to landing in the campsite is that that's where I'm staying. Okay, so I am heading for the North Bot Landing bomb out field, which is where we'd planned to land. Sasha's just ahead of me. This is a different landing field to where I landed yesterday. It's not quite as nice looking, lots of scrub in it, but it is a nice long landing field. It's bounded by an orchard to the right hand side and trees to the left. That's in the direction that I intend to land anyway. It's sort of a longer, thinner landing field. It has a windsock in it at the south side of it, so windsock really important for judging which direction the wind is blowing in, and you always land against the wind, so into the wind, to reduce the speed of your movement over the ground. If you were to land with the wind behind you, that's how you have an accident and hurt yourself. I'm directly above the landing field now, which is just there, so you can see the landing field. The problem at the moment is I'm not really going down. I'm going to try and find a little bit of sink and circling it. So find that sink, we'll circle in it, we'll go down a bit. I think I found it now. Me and Sasha now coming in for the landing. You can see the landing down there, that's it. You can see the windsock. So the wind is coming, well, I'm pointing directly into wind now. So that's the direction I'm going to land in. I've got my VG mostly off to about a quarter on, which is just about perfect for landing and taking off. The biggest issue with this landing is going to be that Sasha is going to land just before me, and so I need to make sure that I don't run into Sasha on my landing approach. So she's just landed now. I've got a good view of where she is. She's moving to the side out of my way, which is great. So looks like there's a fair old breeze down there, which is good. So for the landing, keep plenty of speed on, all the way down to the ground. Plenty of speed on, pointing into wind, so I'm pointing into wind from quite high up. Plenty of speed, keeping that speed on, rounding out now, getting ready to flare, and flare. Now. Maybe not quite as elegant as yesterday's landing. I wafted it about a little bit at the end. I think I probably rounded out a little bit too early, so I found myself too high above the ground, flying too slow, and I was then subject to the wafts and maybe flared a little bit early, too high from the ground, and as a result I just, well, you saw it was a wafty landing. No real issue, didn't do any damage, and I didn't even nose in or anything like that. It just wasn't the perfect landing, but it wasn't bad. So that's the end of the first day flying with Gerolf and Sasha on their course. I found that really useful. I tried out some new things that I've not tried before. Tried out flying out to the volcano, which I've not tried as a technique before, to see if that would work. Nearly downed me, but then I did find some thermals in places where I've not found them before. In the little wobbly bits, little sticky up bits in the middle in between the volcano and the ridge to the east, so that really worked for me. Really good day. I've learnt a lot, and I learnt a lot from the briefings that we had from Gerolf this morning, in particular in relation to the weather and in relation to some parts of the course where I often do get stuck, and he explained that that was a common thing where people get stuck and how to get out of it. So I'm looking forward to testing that out on the next flight. See you soon. Thank you very much. Well, landing when we did was because of the safety options in terms of the weather. We thought the weather was developing, clouds were developing too much, it was becoming rather black and scary, and we were worried about the cunims and what have you. And now you may hear the thunder where we've just come from. So deciding to come into land was a good idea, safety option, and we've just been watching the gliders coming out to land with the lightning behind them, whilst we're safely in the landing field de-rigging.